This is Space Kraken, the prototype, about 100 pages. The final product will be thicker and with much more content. This is a demo showing everything about the CGM, how it works, everything, the entire game mechanics you can already play. There are just some feature upgrades and especially more story that we want to integrate. And you have a glossy cover sheet here in front. And you have some harder cardboard here in the back, so you have something in your hands if you hold it like that. And at the beginning you have some introduction, how to get started, as well as the story. The story will be expanded in the final version as well. At the moment it's just 2 pages with some quick overview, but we write a little bit more story, but it keeps the same. And then you choose your flight, you set up your lines for the story, different versions, already in the prototype 4 complete different line versions, with different ends and everything's feeling different. And for one line to play through with all battles and combats and everything, you need about 10 hours, my estimation. And then here, this is the first fold-out page. You can let this open to track your, take a look. Yeah, you can see it. You can see your line tracker. This is tracking the position of your CGM story. And the CGM story moving here through the sheets, and you just write down the last position. And what's more, you have here some star map locations. Here you can write down your locations. If you find some mining stations, some dungeons, some core planet, whatever, you can write it down with the map numbers as well. So if you go back there, you have the same maps just to find the same locations again. Okay, and the CGM sheets in the prototype with the 4 different versions to play, with the storyline and about 10 hours each. You have 4 CGM sheets, this 2 book sheets, and the final version would have a little bit more. This is about half full, and if you really increase the story, it even won't be not much than just a few pages. And a little bit more are the event pages. These are the story. This is the things that can happen in text inside the CGM, and they can trigger everything else as well. As for example, I can take a look somewhere here, if I find it. There are some generated combats, for example, with a defined enemies, and well, example, so many things happens, but don't. Where was the combat, for example? Here something that the tracker gets marked. Here, for example. Kraken forces try to eliminate you once again. Start a single level, type core planet, map K, difficult number 3. You have no atmosphere, you have no inside, as outside no atmosphere and inside no atmosphere. Teleporter range 0, so you can't teleport outside. Death of the level 1, it's just one map. Race is the Kraken, you must defeat the enemy there before leaving the map. This is just a single map, it can generate an entire location. Okay, these are the events. At the moment, these sheets, and the final version much more, depending on to how much story we add. I don't know, 20 pages, 30 pages, 50 pages, depending on to how much we add. But for sure you can play this game, I don't know, 5 times, 6 times before you read the same event again, and you have very long playtime, so you can say, oh, yeah, I have closed everything seen in the game. Okay. The CGM commands is explained, how the CGM works. Then you have the location generator used to generate the locations, and here are all the enemies. And because about the folding the pages, you only open once, and then you have here the weapons, achievements, enemy skills, and a little bit behind the rules section. So for example, if you are in the combat against, just take this, and no matter, this enemies, for example, and you battle against them, you maybe read the first time the rules. It's about 20 pages in the prototype. In the final book a little bit more, because we explain it more carefully, and there will be some extra tutorial that very take you on the hand and explain you one turn complete through from the beginning to the end, so you really know how it's going on and not just have to start with the rules. You can directly start playing with the tutorial. It makes it a little bit more easy to get started. And you read it usually once, because if you then play again or have your second combat and you already know about how it works, you have the combat quick sheet here on the left half of the page, and here's everything explained, how the initiative, what enemies spawning, what combat actions you can do, and everything you can read on this side. And you have on the very right side your spaceship. At the final version you have different kinds, for example the early bird ship with different weapons and so on. And you have your crew. For example, I take this and this and that. In the prototype, right? The prototype we have now 2 sheets, and in the prototype you can have more sheets of heroes. You can use, I cannot say exactly, depending on the campaign how much we unlock. We have the recruitment system where we try to, we sure want to find 4 candidates to join the crew. They would be printed in the book. We have the extra, the add-on or the reward level where you can paint it inside the book. And if you just let you paint it, you get some sticker and you can say, okay, I want to take this character because I don't like his face, so I stick my sticker over it, and then I can use his sheet to represent me in the game. Okay, and you have more sheets of this, about, I don't know, 5-6 sheets, depending on the stretch goals and what we add. For example, for sure we have enough heroes to choose from. That makes the book even thicker as well. That's where we reach 250, 300 pages if we count all together. And so whatever I do, if I take a look in the rules, for example, or I want to take a look for the weapons, I have everything here inside the middle, so I can let the combat open, my hero open, everything is just still like that. So I only can just take a look in the rules like it's an extra book just laying in the middle. So it's make no big sense to say, no, I want to have it extra, because you have the space here to move the page, and that work well. And hero skills, enemy skills, you can take a look during the combat here without closing and flapping this out. This you only flap if you're changing the heroes. If you select another hero, okay, then you put one away and move another one there, or something like that. And the same for the enemies. Tab is a little bit short here. If you finish with the combat, you just fold them back on the page where they belong. And if you have another combat, you take a look, okay, where's the race? For example, here's the Kraken, Kraken level 2, and Kraken level 5, and just fold out, battle against them, and then you can just move them inside again. So you don't have to move the page often back and forward. And the paper is already thicker, it's about a 100 gram paper, and the color print is very strong. If you rubber something away, let me try or show. Here, for example, I write something here. Normally you don't write at the graphic or somewhere, just on the sheets here, but even if I do here and the rubber very strong, you see it's have no big effect. Okay, and what's more? Basically, it was a thick pack of enemies. We include 1 race more, so 6 enemy species. The weapons, at the moment, we have 6 grades, 6 weapons each, so 36 different weapons. The same with the items, and we double it already. The rules, 20 pages, maybe 30, 40 pages in the end. The map legion and the maps. The maps is the only thing, if you see in the video or so, this is just prototype state. Close every other graphics we already shown in some places where it looks if it's final. Except, for example, some enemies, for example. This is just some sketch. But already some other enemies like this Kraken here is final. So you already get at the demo version, you get some impression how it looks finally. Oh, my camera is moving, so okay. And the maps here getting re-illustrated. We used CGI, or our layouter will do it, or we paint it with POW. I'm not sure exactly how we do it, but it should look very smoothly and still tactical, because you really have to read it easily. So it's how to use it is most important, and not only the look, the appearance. But in this case, it's not bad, I think, because you have some retro style. Like you're playing some old video game. If you take a look at the spaceships, that's quite cool if you love the old games. But we pimp it up so it looks a little bit better. We have get so much feedback. Somebody already say, yeah, you can use some color goggle so you can read the letters if you use the goggle and so on. So many crazy ideas, but we keep it simple and useful, and so you can play effectively and it looks good. And this is the quest master. You open once if you're meeting a quest master to handle your quests. You have the space combat. Here's already one space combat ongoing. And this is the same with this mode. If you initiate a spaceflight, you open it like that. Then you can decide where you fly, how much you risk. And if you come into a combat, then you're using this combat sheet here, and you have the instructions, what are explained as well in the rulebook. You have everything here, so you can just read it here and play it until the end. Only if you need some really detail or playing the first time, you could take a look at the rules maybe for the expanded explanation. And you can finish everything in this terminal mode, how I call it. And then you can close it and are finished with the exploration. And you go forward to I showed you before, to the location generator and generate a location. And then you have all the heroes. And yeah, that's basically the prototype. As said, the final book would just be much more of it. Yeah. More heroes, more equipment, better explained rules, and more fluff text. Story text. For example, the hero sheets. Here. At the moment, we only used some illustration at the back side. Yeah. This is just empty. The same with the enemies. In the final book, you have more story. You have some background story. We use different illustrations on the back sides, and you not only have here, for example, we have the little story about the characters, and we just expand that. So you have not just some dummy pages. Here, for example, you have some dummy illustration for the. Oh, no, it's already a final one. We used in small as well, but no further text. Even in the back page, you have just some dummy illustration with some little overview, and we pimp everything of the illustrations, adding more text, more story, and yeah, basically nothing much changing in the layout of the book, because it's just useful as it is with the photo page. And yeah, the best thing, if you finish or you want to start, you're just closing and you're ready to go. That's all. Okay, thank you. I hope it helped and showing a little bit more in short how the book is made.